Okay, I think we can start. Let's see. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, hopefully it's okay. So last time I started to explain how can we program LCD, the LCD. As you see here, guys, in this board, we have one LCD, okay, shown here, okay. So this LCD, you can see here, it has two lines. This is one line, this is a second line. In every line, you can write 16 characters. So I can write here 16 characters and I can write here 16 characters, okay? So today I'm gonna explain how can you program it. And similar to what I did before, number one, I'm gonna tell you how it is connected, and then I'm gonna tell you how can you program it, okay? So let's come here. Okay, so as you see here, guys, in this picture, this is a microcontroller and this is the LCD. It is connected this way where we use here port K. As you see here, we have PK0, port K, pin number 0. It's connected here to something we call it R and S. RS. I'm going to tell you what is this. Also, we have PK1, which is connected here to E. E stands for enable. Also, you will understand how this is important. Also, you can see here PK2 to PK5, which they are four pins, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 pins are connected to 4 pins here. We call them data pins, 4 pins. Okay. So all what we need from port K is 4, 5, 6. So we need 6 pins. Is that okay, guys? Again, before I explain this is how it is connected, and before we use it, I don't need to say it, but just I'm gonna repeat it here because we are using six pins. You have to program these 6 pins output. We always do that. For any port, before you use the port, you have to program it input or output. In this case, all of them are output, okay? This is different from last time. Last time here in the keypad, as I told you last time, we have 4 input and 4 output. So we have here 4 output and 4 input, okay? This is somehow weird because this is input device. So in case of input device, so how can you have output, okay? As I said last time, for scanning, because you have to write something here and then you have to read from here. So that's why you need 4 input, 4 output, as I said last time. Anyway, here, so now this is how it is connected. Now, how this one is gonna work? I'm gonna tell you how. Actually, what happens here, guys, if you wanna program it, all what you have to do, you have to send a byte to the LCD. This byte can be one of 2 things, okay? It can be data you wanna display, okay? So if I wanna display data, if you wanna display 1 character, I have to send the ASCII of this character. Very simple. For example, if I want to display letter A, so I have to send 42. So I have to send 42, which is a byte to the LCD, so that you can see letter A. Same thing for any character, including the space. And in chapter 2, I don't need to go to chapter 2. In chapter 2, you have a table. In this table, you can see the ASCII of every character, even space. Space has an ASCII, dot has an ASCII, slash has an ASCII, plus has an ASCII, 0 has an ASCII, even numbers. So if you want to display number 3, I'm not going to send to number 3. Okay, if I want to display number 3, I have to send to the ASCII of number 3, which is 33 hexadecimal. Is that okay? So this is the first thing, and every ASCII is 1 byte. Every ASCII is 1 byte. So as I told you guys, every time you communicate, every time you communicate to the LCD, you have to send a byte. And this byte can be data or can be a command. Okay, I'm gonna teach you today some commands, several commands. Every command is a byte, has a code. This code is a byte. Is that okay? For example, one of the commands is like clear LCD. If you want to clear the LCD, this command, the code for this command is 01. So all what you have to do, if you wanna clear the LCD, just send the code for this one. So conclusion. Whatever, if you wanna send a command, or if you wanna display data, in both cases you have to send the byte to the LCD. Is that okay? And so the question is, when you send the byte to the LCD, how the LCD can know if this byte data or command? You understand what I'm saying? Because some of the commands here are ASCII. Okay, so when you send a byte, this byte can be data or can be command. So how the LCD can know if it's data or command? Very simple. That is why we have RS here. That's why we have RS here. Okay, so what happens is that if you wanna send the command, that's anyway. Oh, wow. Okay. No, the good thing is still Zoom is working, and because we have UBS here, so I didn't lose power. I don't know what's going on anyway. Okay, guys. I think I didn't lose the student online. Everything looks okay. Okay, still it's working. Okay, guys. So what I'm saying is that that's why we have RS here. This RS should tell the LCD if you are going to send to comment or data. That's it. Okay, to remove any confusion, because the same number can be data ASCII for a character, or it can be a command. You got what I'm saying? So very simple. If you want to send a command, you have to put 0 here. You have to put 0. Okay, to tell the LCD what I'm going to send to you is a command. Okay, if you put 1, so that means we are going to send to you is data, and data means, what I mean by data is a character you want to display on the LCD. Okay, by the way, we have several commands I'm going to teach you today. One command like clear LCD, one command to turn off LCD, turn on LCD, cursor, you can control the cursor. So you will see these commands today. Okay, so now I told you again, let me summarize what I said. Very simple. So if usually what you send to the LCD, it can be command or data. In both cases, you have to send the byte, right? And we have this one. You have to put here 0 or 1 to tell the LCD if you are sending a command or data. Okay. Now the question is that you are telling us I have to send a byte. For example, if I want to display letter A, so I have to send 42. For example, that's true. But how I can send it? How I can send 42 to the LCD? Yeah, here you have to send it here. Okay, so any code you have to send, this code can be ASCII or can be a command. It has to be sent here. Is that okay? But there is a problem here. What is the problem? The problem is you told us you have to send a byte. The byte means 8 bits. Is that okay? However, here we have only 4. We have 4 connections, only 4. So how I can do it? You understand what I'm saying? So now I want to send 8 bits, but only we have 4 here, 4 bits here. Okay, that's very simple. All what you have to do, you are going to send 4 and then 4. So I'm going to do it twice, right? So I'm going to do it twice. 4, and then that's exactly what happens. So I'm going to send to 4 bits. I think we send the most significant first. So you have to send the 4 bits, and then you have to generate, as you will see right now, I have to generate like this one, signal like this one in the enable, in order to notify the LCD to take this 4. Okay, so here in the enable, I have to generate a signal. Once I put 4 bits here, okay, I want the LCD to take them. To do that, I have to generate the signal on this one. Okay, now I finished 4, so I have to repeat again, and I have to put the other 4 here. Okay, and then generate the same signal here again. Okay, guys. So very simple. Again, if you are writing data or command, in both cases you have to send the byte. However, we have 4 wires here, so we're gonna send 4 and 4. So I'm gonna do it twice. Okay, again, guys, what I'm teaching here, how our LCD is, how can you use this LCD, how it is connected. However, in your capstone, for example, or if you want to do your own project, maybe you are going to use a different LCD. Maybe there are some minor changes, like for example, maybe there are already 8 here. So you don't need to send 4 and 4 because already you have 8 wire. You can send it at once. Some minor change, but many things will be the same. Yes. That's a very good question. So the question here, guys, is that, okay, so we have here several locations. So several locations. We have 16 locations. If I send, for example, 42 to display letter A, so letter A is going to be displayed here or here or here or here, where exactly you can display. Okay. So here comes the cursor. You have to put the location of the cursor. For example, if I write hello or hi, the cursor is here. So when I write, I'm going to write at the location of the cursor. In the very beginning, you start from here, the cursor is here. In the very beginning, the cursor is here. Once you write, for example, letter H, the cursor comes to here. Once you write, for example, letter I to make high, the cursor moves here. So every time you write something, the cursor moves. Okay. And also, I'm going to teach some commands to put the cursor anywhere. So I'm going to teach some commands. So we have some command. If I want to put the cursor here, yes, you have to put the cursor here first, and then you write. If you want to write it here. So again, let me say it again. Usually you write in sequence. What I mean by sequence is, this is how it is in the very beginning. So that means if I write, I'm going to write here at the location of the cursor. Okay, is that okay? So if I write letter H, it's going to be, the cursor automatically is going to move to next one. So then if you write letter E, cursor automatically. So you are gonna write in sequence this way. Okay. However, I'm gonna teach some commands to put the cursor anywhere. So for example, you can put the cursor here, you can put it in, you have 2 lines. So you can put it here, you can put it in the second line. So I'm going to teach some commands to do that. Is that okay? Assuming for some reason, you want to write A here and then write A here. Okay. So what you have to do, number 1, you have to send the command. Okay. In this command, I'm going to say the cursor is here and then you write. Then you have to send another command. The cursor is here and then you write. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to teach a command right now to place the cursor anywhere. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you the conclusion before I give you more details about it. The conclusion is, listen to me. For example, we have here this one, PK 0. This PK 0, guys, as I told you, should be 0 or 1, just to tell the LCD 0 or 1, to tell the LCD if you are writing a command or you are writing data. Is that okay? Also, if in both cases, if you are writing a command or data, you have to write a byte. However, we have here only four pins here. The way you are going to do it, I think we take the most significant first. So I'm going to take 4 bits. I'm going to put the 4 bits here, and then I'm going to make a pulse here. Once you do a pulse here this way, so the LCD is going to take this 4. Then you have to repeat again, but this time you have to put this 4 here. Okay, so I'm going to send 4 and 4. Is that okay? Any questions? Okay. One more thing, guys, here. Inside the LCD, there is a RAM inside this LCD. there is a RAM. This RAM has 32 locations. Okay, one look, because we have here, we have 16 character here. In the second line, we have another 16 character. The data you store in every character, the ASCII of this data is already stored in the RAM. Okay, in a location in the RAM. Okay, so all what you have to do, if you have to, for example, if I want to display a letter A here, so I have to store the ASCII of A in the location of this in the RAM, in the location of the RAM corresponding to this character. So let me see it again. Very simple. We have 32 character, 16 and 16. Every character has a location in the RAM. We have a RAM. Is that okay? So whatever you can see here is already written in this location in the RAM. Okay? Now, similar, guys, similar to what I did in the keypad, I explained everything in the keypad in details. You understand how the subroutine is made. I give you all the details because you need to understand it. However, as I told you, for exams, for project, all, I'm not gonna, for sure you already have the slide, so I'm not gonna ask you here in this subroutine for sure. All what I need from you is how can you use the keypad. Okay, how can you read a keystroke from the keypad. Okay, how can you use it? That's it. Same thing for the LCD. I'm going to explain everything in details as well. However, all what I need from you is to learn how can you use the LCD. And in order to use the LCD, similar to what I explained here, in case of keypad, we have one function. It's called keypad, right? Same thing for the LCD, but we have several functions. You should learn these functions. We have several functions. So let me first, before I give you details, let me tell you what functions we have here, and you should learn them and you should use them. I think I summarize them here. Yeah. So as you see here, guys, this is like a big picture before I give you any details. The first function you have to use, we call it configure LCD. Configure LCD. This is assembly. I'm talking about assembly, guys. Here, if you want to use, in order to program the LCD, we have 4 functions here in assembly. I'm going to explain them in details. Okay, but before I explain them, I just want to give you the big picture. We have four functions. The first one is called configure LCD. This one is used for configuration. You have to use it only one time in your program, just to configuration, only one time. Is that okay? This one. Okay, I'm going to give you more details for sure, but let me finish the whole picture. The second one here, this one is used put character to LCD. This one is called put or write character to LCD. So this one is used if you want to display one character. So every time you use this one, you are going to display one character. All what you have to do, guys, you have to put, before you call this one, you have to put the ASCII of the character you want to display in register A. Okay. For example, if I want to display letter A, all what you have to do, guys, before you call this function, I'm going to say load register A hashtag 42. 42 is the ASCII of A. Is that okay? Once I do that, I call this function. So this function is going to take whatever in A and display it. So this one is used to display one character. Is that okay? We have another one here, guys. We call it command to LCD. Command to LCD. Command to LCD. This one is used if you wanna write a command. If you wanna write a command similar to what I did here, okay, you have to write the code of the command to register A before you call this one. So I'm gonna teach right now what commands we have and what is the code. What is the code for each command, right? So if you want to clear the LCD, there is a code. All what you have to do before you use this one, you have to write the code and register A and then call this one. Is that okay? Easy so far. So what is the last one we have here? The last one here, it is called put string to LCD. Put here means write. You want to write a message or a string to LCD. This one is used, guys, if you want to write a complete message, not only one character, a complete message. Okay. So let me summarize them again before I give you details. So number one, guys, here in assembly, I'm going to teach you 4 functions in details. This one for configuration, you have to use it only one time in your program for configuration. This one is used if you want to display a character, and this character can be a space, by the way, a space. A space, the ASCII of space is 20, right? It can be dot, it can be dash, it can be asterisk, okay? It can be equal. All of them are characters, and they have ASCII codes. You can use this one, guys, if you wanna write a command, okay? This one is used if you wanna display a complete message, not one character, a complete message. You will see right now. You will see, actually, inside this one, we are using this one inside here. Makes sense, right? Because any message is just a number of characters. You get what I'm saying? You will see it right now. So inside this one, yeah, it's here actually. So I'm going to explain to you what you can see here. So this is put string to LCD. This one is used to display a message. So you can see here inside this one, I'm using put character because any message, for example, if you have a message, something like hello. So this one, I'm going to take H, I'm going to send it to put character LC to display. And then I'm going to get E, I'm going to send it to put character LC to display. And then I'm going to get L, and then O, right? So you will see it right now. Any questions? Yes. Have question?
What happens if we
Okay. So let me first tell you how can you do it, what is the correct way to do it, and then I'm going to tell you what is if you make a mistake, what's going to happen. Is that okay? So let me tell you. For example, I told you this line has 16 characters. So if you have like a big message, you can display here 16 character, and then maybe after that you have to move to the next one. There is a command to move to the next one, so that, for example, so you can write here some words, hello or welcome to something, and then now it's already finished, so you have to move to the next line and then complete writing in the next line. Okay, something like that is not going to be done automatically. It's not going to be done automatically. So what you mean? I mean, if you write, and then you already use 16 characters, it's not going to go automatically to next line. It's not going to go automatically. You have to send a command to move the cursor from here to here, and I'm going to teach you this command, right? So this is something you have to do in your program. So in your program, you have to make sure you should not write more than 16. But okay. There is something maybe somehow advanced, like rotating text, because you have limited space here. You have limited space. So if your text is long, you can do something like rotating text. You get what I'm saying? So now let's come to your question. Okay, what happens if I write, if write more than 16? What's going to happen? Number one, you are not going to get error. But what you wrote, you are not going to see what you wrote here. So it's not going to be seen. Is that okay? Sorry? Yeah. So all what you have to do, once I come to the end here, you have to write a command to move the cursor to here and then write from here. Is that okay? One of the things we are going to do, guys, in the coming lab, and I want you to try by yourself, is in next week lab, it's a practice on using the LCD, on programming LCD and the keypad. Okay. So what we are going to do, I'm going to ask you, there is one button. When I press it, you move the cursor to the right. When I press the other button, you move it to the left. So if the cursor is here, I press a button so I can move it here. I can move it here. Or you can move it this way or this way. So I have two different buttons. So this is also a command. I'm going to teach the command right now. So I have two different buttons. one button to move the cursor this way, one button to move the cursor the other way, right and left. Is that okay? So as far as I remember, but you can try it and tell me during the lab, next week lab, okay? As far as I remember, if I press the button, I move the cursor all the way to here, right? And if I keep pressing, you should not keep pressing, but if you keep pressing, what's going to happen, for example, if I press 3 times, I think you're not going to see the cursor. However, to return the cursor back, you have to press 3 times as well. You got what I'm saying? You can try it, but what I'm saying, so if the cursor is here, if you move it all the way to here, and then you press 3 times, yeah, so you're not going to see the cursor as far as I know. You can, anyway, this is a mistake. You shouldn't do it, but you can try it, and you can try it in the coming lab. I think in order to return it back, so you have to press 3 times in order to bring it back to see here. Yes. Say it again.
How many bits are associated with the person's position?
I think they are using some kind of counter, I guess. I think, for example, counter here, this is location 0 to location 15. And when I press the right, so it's going to be at location 15, 16, 17, 18, which for sure you cannot. So in order to see it back, I think you have to reduce the counter to 15 again, I guess. Anyway, this is a mistake. It's a mistake. You shouldn't do it anyway, but you are interested to know if I make a mistake, how the LCD is going to behave. But the right way to program it, you should not write more than 16 here, because anything you write more than 16, you are not going to see it. If you want to, that's why once you come to the end here, you have to write a comment to come to the next line and then keep writing here. Yes. That's a very good question. As I'm going to explain here in configure LCD, we have a command to start. I'm going to write a command to start from here. Okay, because yes, and that's this is a command. Okay, so you can because this makes sense, right? So in the very beginning, when I start, I want to start from the left hand side, right? But this is a command. That means if you want to put it here, you put it here. You can write a command. You can put it anywhere. Is that okay? I'm going to give you more details. Okay, for now, guys. So now, conclusion, just to make everything easy, guys. I'm going to explain everything in very details because you need to learn everything. That's totally fine. However, all what I need from you is just to know how can you use these four functions. That's it, right? But I'm going to explain for sure them in details. So I'm going to start now with boot character LCD. Boot character LCD. I'm going to explain how we are going to program it. As I told you guys, in boot character LCD, we have ASCII and we have ASCII in register A. And all what we want to do, I want to write this ASCII to the LCD. I'm going to tell you how before I choose the code, I'm going to tell you how we should do it. How we should do it. Number one, guys, as I told you before, we have here PK0, because PK0 connected to R and S. Okay, this is the LCD. And we have PK1 is connected to enable. And then we have here PK2 to PK5 are connected to the data here. Is that okay? Think about it. How can we do it? Number one, guys, I have to write instruction. You are writing data, not a command. And I told you, if you want to write data, not command, you have to put here number one. So you have to put here 1. Is that okay? You have to put 1. Yes. So number 1, in this subroutine, number 1, I have to put 1 here. Is that okay? Because you are writing data. This is number 1 you have to do. So I have to write a command. I have to write assembly code to write 1 here. This is number 1. Number 2. Now you have Now you have register A this way. Okay. I told you before the ASCII is here. I told you before. Now we have 4 and 4. So I'm going to send it twice. I'm going to send the most significant 4 bits and then the least significant 4 bits. So what I'm going to do, guys, I have to write a code so that you take these 4 bits, you put it here. This is number 2. Number 3, you have to generate a signal here. Why you have to generate this signal here? just to tell the LCD, I wrote, it's like communication. We are communicating to this. I want to tell the LCD, I wrote 4 bits. Please, LCD, come and take them. So once you do that, the LCD is gonna come and read this part. Okay. Number 4, what else I have to do? I have to repeat again, but this time I'm gonna put this 4. I'm gonna put this 4 here. I'm gonna put this 4 here. Number 5, I have to generate a pulse like this one again in the enable. So I have to generate a pulse like this one in the enable. Okay, you understand what should we do before I choose the assembly? How the assembly will do that? You understand everything? Any questions? Number 1, I have to make sure I have to put here 1. Then I have to put the most significant 4 bit here and then generate a pulse here. Now I finished. I sent the 4. I'm going to repeat again, but I'm going to send this 4. Is that okay? Okay. By the way, when I come to comment to LCD, I'm going to repeat everything. I'm going to repeat everything here, except only one thing. Here I'm going to put 0 instead of 1. Everything else is the same. Why? Because this one should send a command, and this command should be in register A. This one is going to send a data or a character. The ASCII should be in A as well. So this, as you will see right now, these 2 functions are identical. The only difference is you are going to write here 0 or 1 for data or comment. Yes. In a loop. Yeah. I'm going to explain it. Okay. So now let's see what I explain right now. How can we do it? Okay. Using assembly. So this is the first one here, guys. Both character to LCD. As I told you, number 1, I have to output the most significant 4 bits on here from register A. So register A, I have to pick up the most significant 4 bits. Number 2, RS has to be high. Number 3, you have to generate a pulse this way. This 4, I have to generate a pulse this way on A. In order to command, to inform, to tell the LCD to take the data, okay? And then I have to repeat this part again, but this time I have to work on the least significant 4 bits. So let's see how it works. Number 1, let's see the first one. How you are gonna send? How can you are gonna send the most significant 4 bits here? Look here, the way I did it. As I told you guys, already the ASCII is in register A. Okay. Now, because I'm going to change register A, I have to save it somewhere because I need it later. I'm going to modify A, right? So now I'm going to save it. I have to save it somewhere so that I'm going to need it later when I decide to send the least significant 4 bits. You got what I'm saying? Because I'm going to destroy A right now. So let's see what I did. So now I have to save A because I'm going to need it later when I send. Now I'm going to work only on the most significant 4 bits. Look what I did. Number 2, I'm gonna do end with F0 as you see here. What this one is gonna do? This one register A. Now I'm gonna put 4 zeros here in register A. This instruction. So now register A, I have 8 bits. I'm gonna clear this 4. I'm gonna clear them, right? And after that, look what I did. I'm gonna shift right twice. I'm going to shift register A right twice. So now register A should become 0, 0, and the 4 bits are here, and then we have 0, 0. Then I'm going to write it. I'm going to write to port K. You got it? So in the very beginning, we have register A this way because I'm just interested in this 4 now. So I'm going to do end. I'm going to clear this 4 this way. This is the first step I did. Number 2, we shift register A twice. Can anyone guess why I shifted register A twice this way? Why I made this way? Any guess? If you look here, you may figure out something. If you look at this one here, this is because my data, the data should start from bit number 2 to bit number 5. So what happened when I shifted, when this one is here and I shifted twice, So actually, you are gonna start from bit 2 to bit 5. That's why when I write this one to port, when I write to port K, so these 4 bits are gonna come here. That's why I shifted twice. Make sense? Because the 4 bits should start from bit number 2 to bit number 5. Okay, guys? So now, until now, I finished the first part now. So what I did, I took, this is register A. I took these 4 bits. I put them on these four bits here. Okay. Now, what should I do else? Number 2, you have to put 0 here. You have to put 1 here. You have to put 1 here just to tell the LCD I want to write data. After that, I have to generate a pulse here. That's it. And now I am done. I have to repeat again, but for the other 4, here, the least significant 4 bits. That's exactly okay. Okay, guys. So in order, that's what I did here. In order to put 1, just bit set. Very simple. Bit set port K 01, right? After that, I have to generate a pulse on bin number 2. How I made it? Bit set, wait some time, no operation. No operation. This is an instruction, no operation. This instruction is not doing anything because that is gonna waste 1 cycle. It's called no operation. It doesn't do any operation, just waste 1 cycle. Okay. So here, this one, I'm gonna the enable, I'm gonna make it high. I'm gonna wait for some time, then I'm gonna bring it low here. This command. Okay, guys. Any questions? Now I finished half of the work, right? Now I'm gonna repeat again, but this time I want to send the least significant 4 bits. Okay, that's why you see now I'm gonna pull A to get the original value of A, because I already lost when I did this end here. I already lost the least significant 4 bits, right? Now I'm gonna pull A in order to get the original value of A. This is not. Number 2, I'm gonna do AND operation similar to this AND operation. However, this AND operation here, I cleared the first 4 bits. Now I'm gonna clear these bits. So now I'm gonna put here zeros because I need this time I need to send this 4, as you see here. Also, this time I'm gonna shift to the left, not to the right, to the left, so that these 4 bits are gonna come from bit number 2 to bit number 5. Is that okay? After that, I'm gonna write it to port K. Any question, guys? Okay. Then after that, I'm gonna write 1. I'm gonna write 1 to RS. Then after that, I'm gonna generate a pulse this way in order to send the other half. Very simple, guys. Let me say it again. We have 8. So in the very beginning, I'm gonna send this 4, and then the second part, I'm gonna send this 4. That's it. Okay. So once you do that, guys, you can. So after that, you can see the ASCII you put in register A. You can see it on the LCD. Any question, guys? Okay. So again, this is the most important thing, guys. How can we use this function? Very simple. You can put the ASCII. You can put the ASCII of the letter you want to display. Put it in letter A and then call the subroutine. That's it. The subroutine is going to display this character in the location of the cursor. In the location, at the location of the cursor. Is that okay? So, by the way, if you don't know the ASCII, if you don't, for example, if instead of, it's maybe more convenient just to put it this way. Okay? So I can put it this way. If you put this way, the code warrior is going to replace it with the ASCII, whatever the ASCII is, 48, 49, whatever it is. Okay? So you can just write it this way, and the code warrior is going to replace it with the number. Okay? If you want to write the number, that's totally fine. Any questions? Okay. Now let's come to the second to this function. This function, guys, as I told you, it is similar to this function, but this one is used if you want to display a character. This one is used if you wanna send a command. If you wanna send a command, right? In both cases, before you call the function, you have to put the ASCII in register A. or in this case, you have to put the command in register A. As I'm gonna teach right now, every command has a byte, has a code. You have to put this code in register A before you code this one. Okay. If you see how I programmed this function, you will find this function is exactly similar to this function. The only difference is here. Instead of using bit set here, I used bit clear. That's it. The only difference. Same thing here. Instead of using bit set here, I used bit clear. Okay. Everything else is the same. Why? Because as I told you before, if you want to send here, if you want to send a command, you have to put here 0. Okay. So sending a command or sending data or character, they are exactly, everything is the same except this one. Everything else is the same, 0, 1. Any questions? Okay. Now I'm going to teach commands. I'm going to teach to you what commands we have. So this table, we have several tables here. This table summarizes all the commands we have and the code you need to use in the coming lab. Okay. So again, how can we use them? Number one, you need to learn the code. You need to know what code. For example, if you want to clear display, you have to use this code. So you have the way you have to use it, just to put the code in register A and then call this function. That's it. Very easy. All what you need to know, you have to learn is a code. So here this table summarizes all the codes we have. Okay. So let's start one by one. But here before I continue here, actually forget this part. RS, because this is the code you have to put in register A, this part here. So this is what you have to put in register A, because RS has to be 0, 0. That's okay. We know it should be 0. Okay, but this should be done. Done by the function. Okay, so this is the code I'm talking about. It's a byte. This byte here. This is what you have to put in register A. So let's do it. Let's see what commands we have and how can we use it. Let's see the first one. First one here, if you go to the table here, guys, this is the command you have to use. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So what this command is doing, as you see here, number one, this one is going to clear display. So it's going to clear the display. This number one. Number two is going to return the cursor to the home position. Where is the home position? The home position is here. So this instruction, number one, is going to clear the display. So for example, if the display has the word hello, for example, if you execute this instruction, you are going to clear it, and then you put the cursor here. This one is going to put the cursor in the beginning. Yes.
Why does the clear display?
Takes long time?
Yes, it takes 1.6.
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. For sure, it should be related to the work it has to do, right? So it has to do a lot of work, for sure, comparing to the other things, right? But why it has to do a lot of things? I think because you have 32 locations in RAM, so it has to clear all these locations in RAM. I guess this is the reason. Yes.
So for the clear display, you just have set instructions saying right link to the position. Right.
Okay. That's a difficult question to answer because this is to me. We don't program it, man. The people who manufactured the LCD, they give us this data. You get what I'm saying? So this is given. So this is something I'm not gonna write it in assembly, right? So I'm gonna just send this code, and this is gonna do internal operation inside the LCD to do this work. So how it is made, it's up to the it's related to how they manufacture the LCD. You got what I'm saying? But you have a very good observation that this task takes more time than others, which for sure it means it has to do more work. Okay, So maybe you are right. My guess it has to clear all the all the location in memory, right? And maybe you are right. It has to write space. Maybe you are right about this one as well. Okay. One more thing I want to tell you guys, very important thing. Listen to me. Here, I'm explaining our LCD. Okay. So if you do your own project, if maybe you are gonna use a different LCD. Okay. If you use a different LCD, programming the LCD will be similar to what I explained here. However, you have to get the data sheet. You have to get the data sheet of the LCD you are using, and in this data sheet they should write what command is what. Maybe they are using different numbers. You understand what I'm saying? So these numbers are not, as far as I know, they are not universal. It's related to the LCD. Okay. So, but programming wise, everything will be almost similar to what I taught here. Okay. But maybe you need to use different numbers. So what I'm saying, if you use a different LCD, you have to get the data sheet. You have to see what code they are using. Okay. Because once you send this number, everything will be done internally. Okay. So the people who manufactured the LCD, they told me we manufactured it so that if you give me number 0001, I'm gonna do this. You got what I'm saying? Anyway, so this is the first thing, guys. So the first thing you have to do if you wanna clear the display. Also, you wanna return the cursor to the home position. We call it address number 0 because we have here. This is the home position. Okay, this command will do that. How can we use it? Very simple. All what you have to do, guys, I'm explaining an example here. You have to put this number in register A, and then we have to call this function. Once you do that, you are gonna clear the display, and then you are gonna move the cursor to the beginning or the home position. Any questions? This is the first command. What other commands you have? I'm gonna teach what other commands you have. Okay. So we have this command number 2. So let's see if I go here from the table. Look at this one here, guys. Okay. When you see asterisk means it doesn't matter. If you put 0 or 1, it doesn't matter. Okay. So it doesn't matter. So here, for example, if I put here 0, guys, so this one becomes number 2. What this command is doing? This command should return the cursor to home position, address 0. Okay. Also return the display being. So this one should return the cursor to the home position, but this one is not gonna clear. For example, if you are writing the word hello this way and the cursor is here, once you execute this instruction, you will see something like that, hello, and the cursor is gonna come to here. And because the cursor is here, when you write, you are going to overwrite whatever is there. So for example, because the cursor is here, you are going to overwrite here. So for example, if I write letter A, so you are going to be A-E-L-L-O, and the cursor, every time you write something, the cursor is going to move to next position. Okay. So again, if this is the original display, once you read this command, it's going to become something like that. Once you write, you are going to overwrite whatever there. Okay. So how can you do that? So this one, you should return the cursor to the home position, which is at the left-hand side, without changing the content. So you are going to see the same content. For example, if hello is written, okay, the cursor is here. So the cursor is going to come here, this one. Okay. This one. Again, guys, sometimes the best way to understand this command is by doing them by yourself. Okay, and that's what we are going to do in the coming lab. Again, you have the board, you have the programs, so you can at home you can try use these commands to better understand what these commands are doing. Okay, so let's see the next one. In the next one here, guys, as you see here you are going to put 0, 0, 0, 5 zeros. So here we have 5 zeros and 1. These are fixed. 5 zeros and 1. And now we have 2 bits. We can exchange these 2 bits. We have 2 bits here. One is called S, one is called I and G. So let's see what, so how when you change these bits, what's gonna happen, okay? So let's see here. Number 1, for I and B, I and D, this one should control, okay? After each character you write, do you want the cursor to be incremented or decremented? What this means? It means the following. Look here, guys. If, for example, if you have H this way, okay? I wanna write letter E. So, for example, it should be H, E, and then do you wanna, every time I write one letter and the cursor is here, do you want the cursor to move to the right or to move to the left? Okay, for example, so it has to, I want it to move this way. So this bit can control this. So this bit you can tell the LCD every time I write a character, I want the cursor to move to the right. Or you can say I want it to move to the left. If you ask me, we are writing English. Every time I write English, I need the cursor to move to the right. That's true. That's why all the time we're going to move the cursor to the right. If you tell me how I can move, or how I can use that, or how I may need to move the cursor to the left, I really have no idea. So I just here I'm going to teach everything we have, right? Most of there are some things here we're going to use all the time, right? But also there are something you may need it if you want to do something like advanced, if you want to do something rotating, if you want to do something like it's not something that's not normal, or it's not regular use of the LCD and so on. So what I want to say, guys, this bit, using this bit, you can tell the LCD, after every time you write one character, do you want the cursor to move to the right, or you want to move the cursor to move to the left? For sure, most of the time or all the time, I'm going to ask the cursor to move to the right because we are writing English. Is that okay? So that is why, so here if you put 1, sorry, if you put 0, that means I want the cursor to be decremented, means it moves to the left. However, if you put 1, so that means you are saying I want to cursor to move to the right. So this I and G. And I think I explained also here I and G. Yeah, I and G, if you put 0, you actually decrement the cursor. You put 1 means you increment the cursor. Is that, you understand what I'm saying? So for normal use of the LCD, all the time I'm going to increment the cursor, means the cursor is going to move to the to move this way. Okay, and that's we do when we write English, right? So I want every time the cursor to move this way. Decrement means every time I write, the cursor is going to move this way. Okay. Anyway, so this bit can control this or that. Okay. The other bit here, this bit. The other bit here, S bit. This S bit can control here, as you see. Let's read here. So this one can control set cursor move direction. You want to move it right or left. This one specifies to shift the display. Okay, shift the display. Sometimes you want to do something like moving text, moving. In case of moving text, for example, hello, I want to shift the whole text. For example, if it is this way, I want to make something like rotating, something like this one. Okay, so here I want to shift the text. Okay, so this one can control it. If you want to, do you want to shift the text or not? So for example, if you shift, you can shift it this way, and then if you write the instruction again, you can shift it more. So like you shift the text. Okay, so that's what I'm explaining here. So this S, it means no display shift. If you put 1 means display shift. Okay, so you want to shift or you don't want to shift. Again, you can try it. So again, so what we have here, guys, for this command, as you see here, guys, you have 5 zeros and 1. Okay, we're not going to talk about them. And then we have 2 bits. 1 bit should control every time you write a character, you want a cursor to go to right or go to left. Usually we're going to go to right this way. That means we're going to put here 1 because we write English. This one is, if you don't want to shift, you can just put 0 here. That means I don't want to shift, but just put 0. Okay. So let's see the next command. All the commands are summarized here. So now I'm going to move to the next one here. In the next one, as you see here, guys, we have 4 zeros and 1. These are fixed, 4 zeros and 1. And now I have 3 bits. Every bit is going to do something different. Okay, let's see what these bits are doing. Okay, let's start with bit D, this one. So this bit should turn on or off the display. So we have 1 bit. One is gonna one. If you put 1 or 0, we turn on and off. Is that okay? So this is what this bit is doing. Okay. So let me see here. Yeah. So as you see here, guys, this bit should turn on and off. Where 0 means you turn it off. So if I put 0 here, that means I'm gonna turn the display off. Is that okay? What off means? And how it is different from clear? It's different from clear because clear means clear. Clear means clear. You are going to clear it. However, if you make it off, if you write the word hello, right, and you make it off, so you're not going to see anything, nothing here. However, when you make it on again, you will see the word hello because you didn't clear. You just turn it off. So off doesn't mean clear. You know what I'm saying? Off means I don't see the text. However, when you make it on again, you are going to see the text. Is that okay, guys? So in the coming lab, I'm going to ask you this is exactly what we are going to do in the coming lab. In the coming lab, you are going to read the keypad. You are going to read the keypad. When you read the keypad, number 1, read the keypad. Okay. Number 2, if you get a number from 0 to 9, display it. So if the user enter number 0, you display 0. Enter number 9, I'm going to display 9. So any number from 0 to 9, display it. Okay. Number 3, now you can get a number. We have from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Is that right? So these are the other keys. We have 16 keys. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 more keys. 10 keys here, 10, and we have 6 keys. These 6 keys are going to be used for commands. So one of them, for example, I'm going to ask one of them to move the cursor to the right. So when I press it, so every time I press it, if the cursor is here, you are going to move it to here. So this, for example, one of them. Okay. One of them to move the cursor to the left. So if the cursor is here and I press it, I'm going to move the cursor this way. I didn't teach yet a command to move the cursor, but it's coming right now. Is that okay? One of them to clear LCD. Okay. One of them to turn on and off. If the LCD is on, make it off. If it is off, make it on. Right? One of them for backspace. Let me remember the last one here. So number 1, you have move cursor right and left, these 2. And then you have 1 to turn the cursor on and off. Yeah. And also we have a clear LCD. You have backspace. And also this one, the last one here is going to tell you if the cursor in the first line, move it to the second line. And if it is in the second line, move it to the first line. Don't worry, I'm going to explain all these commands. You got what I'm saying? So and this should be continuous. So in the coming lab, I'm going to make like a loop. I'm going to get a number from the keypad, and then if this number is between 0 and 9, I'm going to display it. If it is a command, I have to execute the corresponding command. I'm going to show all the commands right now. Okay. But let me finish the command here. I was explaining this command here. So here, guys, this command, because that's what you need in the coming lab. You have here this bit. This bit can control. Do you want to turn the cursor on or off? If you put here 0, means you turn it off. If you put 1, that means you turn it on. Very simple, right? Okay, guys. Okay. This is for this command. What about the other commands? Okay, so for example, here this command, this one can control the cursor. Okay. Do you want to see the cursor or no cursor? Okay, so you have two options. For example, I can see something like hello, and I see a cursor here. Okay. However, this is if the cursor is on. If the cursor is off, you are going to see hello this way and no cursor here, no cursor. It's like hidden, so that when I write, I'm going to write it from here. Okay. Yes, you cannot see the cursor, but it's here. It's here. Okay. So again, how do you want to display the cursor or not? It's very simple. Just this bit. If this bit is 0, so I'm going to turn the cursor off. If this bit is 1, that means I'm going to turn the cursor on. You can see the cursor. That's it. Okay, just one bit. What about the last bit we have here? The last bit here, by the way, again, I told you I'm going to teach everything, but most of the time, well, I'm going to make the cursor on all the time, honestly. But just, I have to teach everything because I don't know how you are going to use it. Maybe somehow you want to hide the cursor for some reason, okay? For some reason, but actually, most of the time, I think we are going to put here 1 to make the cursor on, right? The last one we have here, B. This one should control blinking. Okay, what do you mean by blinking? Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain it, but also I want you to see it by yourself. What I mean by blinking. You can just all what you have to do, guys. Very simple. Make the comment this way, and then call this function. That's it. That's it. So make the command similar to what I'm doing it right now, put it in register A and call the function. Is that okay? So what I mean by blinking, you have to think it's up to you. For example, if you have hello, if you have the word hello this way and you have the cursor here, do you want to see a stable cursor this way, or I can make the cursor blinking? What do you mean by the cursor? The cursor itself can be blinking. So what do you mean by the cursor is blinking? It means if you look at this cursor, it's going to be like this shape is going to be black and then cursor and black. That's what I mean by blinking. So if you look at this block, if it is blinking, it's blinking. If you look at this block, black cursor, it's going to be, that's why you can see it blinking. Again, I don't know why you may need something like that, but again, I have to explain. Maybe you are going to need it in something, but all the time we are going to make the cursor off, turn it off. How can you turn the cursor off? Blinking. Well, I'm going to, in order to make the blinking off, just put here 0. That's it. Okay. So let me summarize this comment again, guys. This is a very easy comment. All what you have to do here, guys, in this comment, you have 4 zeros and 1. That's okay, 4 zeros and 1. This one, if you don't want to see blinking, just put 0 here to turn the blinking off. Yeah. This one, if you want to see the cursor, put 1 so that you can see the cursor. That's it. This one is you are gonna use it to turn the display on or off. So 0 for off, 1 for on, to turn it on and off. And I made very clear what is the difference between making it off and between clear. Off doesn't mean clear. Off means there is no text. You cannot see the text. However, you didn't clear it. That's why when you turn it on again, you are going to see the text again. You understand what I'm saying? So for example, here there is the word hello. Okay. If you clear, okay, it's already cleared. However, if you turn it off, yes, you are not going to see anything. It's off. However, when you make it on again, you are going to see the word hello because it was not clear. Still it is in the RAM. The RAM of the LCD. Any question, guys? Okay. Let's see what other commands we have. We have this command here, guys. I think I have just 2 more commands and that's it. Okay. We have 1 more command here. Look at this command, guys. You have to put here 3 zeros. You have to put here 1. Here it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you put here, 1 or 0. It doesn't matter. And now we have only 2 bits. We have only 2 bits. Okay. let's see what are these 2 bits. Let's start with this one. This one is the direction, right or left. You can see R or L. So R or L, this is the direction, right or left. This one you can select. Do you want to shift or you want to move the cursor? So this one should control. You want to move the cursor right or left. For example, look, see what I want to see here, guys. Look here. So again, one bit, it can control the direction. This one can control. Do you want to move the whole text or you want to move the cursor? Okay. For example, if you put here 0, that means I want to move the cursor. Okay. This one, it can tell right or left. So if I put 0 means left. If you put 1 means right. Okay, guys. So as you see here, guys, if you put in this bit 0, that means I want to move the cursor. If you put here 0 to the left, if you put here 1 to the right, and if this command is going to move it only 1 step. So if you want to move it twice, so you have to send this command twice. Okay, what it means? It means if hello is this way and the cursor is here, and you do this command to move it to the left, so actually the cursor is going to become here. Is that okay? And if you overwrite, you are going to overwrite it here. Okay. If you want to move it to the right, so you can bring it here, or you can bring it here, Okay, guys. As I told you in the coming lab, we have one button. When you press this button, I want to move it to the right. So you have to use this command. This one to the right, right? Yeah. You have to use this command. There is another button to move the cursor to the left. So you have to use this one. Okay, guys, any questions? Okay, so we have 2 bits. One bit to control right or left, right or left. The other one can control. Do you want to move the cursor or you want to move the text itself? What do you mean by the text itself? I'm going to tell you. For example, hello. I can move hello this way. I can move hello to the right. This one is used if you want to make something like rotating text. If for example, I can move the whole text to the right. Okay. How can we do that from this one? If this one is 0, that means I want to move the cursor, but not the text. If you put here 1, that means I want to shift the text. I want to move the text. Is that okay? Right or left, this one can control right or left. Any questions? So we have one bit. This bit can tell, do you want to move the cursor? And this one can say right or left. Or this one can say, I want to move the text. I want to shift the text. And this one can say right or left. And every time you use this command, it's going to shift it only one time. One step. Okay? One character. The last thing we have here is, the last thing we can have here, I told you we have a command. In this command, I can put the cursor anywhere. So I can put the cursor here, I can put the cursor here, I can put the cursor here, I can put it here, I can put it here. So you can put the cursor anywhere here. So we have a command to do that. Okay, guys. So this is the last command I'm going to teach right now. And the last command I'm going to teach how can you position the cursor anywhere, put it anywhere. Is that okay? How can you do that? Very simple. The way I can do it, guys, is as follows. Look here. Every location here has location number or address. We start from 0 until 15. Same thing here. We have from 0 to 15. Is that okay? So every location has a number for address from 0 to 15. This one also has a 0 to 15. And in order to know if it is line 1 or line 2, we have another bit here. So this is the command you have to use. You have to put here 1. Always you have to put here 0, 0. This one can tell line 1 or line 2. Which one? Line 1 or line 2? Where 0 means line 1. 1 means line 2. Is that okay? So this bit you want to put the cursor in line 1 or line 2. Is that okay? And this one should give location from 0 to 15. If it is line 1, where you want to put here? If it is line 2, where you want to put it here from 0 to 15. Is that okay, guys? what you need in the coming lab, what you need, I'm gonna ask you. Look here, guys. I'm gonna ask you, if the cursor in the second line, move it to here. So you need to know comment, how can you put it here? Same thing, if the cursor in the first line and I press the button, put it here at this one. So if I want to put the cursor here, what command I have to use? Let's see. So this one has to be 0, and this one should be 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So the command I have to use is 880. So all what, and I think I wrote it here somewhere. Yeah, I wrote it here. Look here, guys. So yeah, if I want to put the cursor in the here, I have to use 80. So I have to put 80 in register A and have to use this command. Is that okay? Let's see. Okay, what if I want to put the cursor here? I want to put it here. Okay, so here I'm gonna put here number 1, because this one can tell line 1 or line 2. Okay, so this one here means it's this line, and then I have to put 0, 0, 0. So it should be 1, 1, 0, 0, and should be 0, 0, 0, which is C0. Okay, C0. That's why, yeah, C0 here. Very simple, very simple. So all what you have to do, guys, if the cursor in line 1 and you want to move it here, so you have to use this command. If you want to move the cursor to the first line, you have to use 80, this command. Any question, guys? So again, in the coming lab, you need, number 1, I'm going to ask you clear LCD. Very easy. I already explained the command to clear LCD, right? This is clear LCD. Number 2, there is one button, one key, or one button. This button should move the cursor to the right, and the another one move it to the left. Yeah, I already explained here. Move the cursor to the right and the left. So you need this one, and you need this one. Okay. We have another one. I'm gonna tell you. One for on and off. If it is on, make it off. If it is off, make it on. And another one, if the cursor in line 1, move it to line 2. If it is on line 2, move it to line 1. And the last one, backspace. So I'm gonna have like a backspace. Okay, so let me explain one by one. So look here, guys. We have one button. We have one button here. Listen to me. If the LCD is on, I press the button, I'm gonna make it off. If the LCD off and I press the button, I'm gonna make it on. So what do you need? What do you need to do that? Number 1, I need a command to make it on and a command to make it off, which is very easy, right? So this is the command. Yeah, that's what I'm explaining here. This is a command to make the cursor off. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about the cursor. I'm talking about, yeah, it's the same one. Yeah, here. Yeah. So this is the command to turn the display off, and another one here to turn the display on. So you have 2 commands, one to turn it on, one to turn off. Is that enough? No, it's not enough. What else do you need? I told you, if the cursor in line 1, if the display is off, make it on. Okay, so that means I need to know if the display is on or off, right? Because if the display is off, so I'm going to use this command to make it on. And if the display is on, I'm going to use this command to make it off. So the question is, how can you know if the LCD is on or off? How can you know, right? Look here, how I can know. I'm going to use a variable, status variable. I'm going to use a status variable. This variable should have one of 2 values. One value, for example, just any 2 numbers like 0, 0 and FF, right? One value to tell me it is off. One value to tell me it is on, status variable. In the very beginning, in my program, I'm going to turn the LCD on. That's why I'm going to put if here. Every time you press the button, to turn it off, so I'm going to put 0, 0. If you want to turn it on, I'm going to put FF. So again, let me say it again. You have to use a variable. This variable should store one of 2 values. One value for on, one value for off. Is that okay? In the very beginning, I'm gonna put this value because it's on. When you press the button, you make it off. So you have to use the command to make it off. Also, you have to change to this value. So that every time you want to know if the LCD is on or off, you need to ask this variable. Every time you want to change the status of the LCD on or off, you have also to change this value. So this value always should reflect the status of the LCD. Yes. Yes, you can save 7 bits. However, you have to write more code to check if this bit is 1 or 0. you can 7. Yeah, maybe it's faster to check a byte, but you are gonna lose 7 bits. You're right. It's up to you how to program it. Okay. Also, you have one comment, guys. If the cursor in line 1, I have to bring it to line 2. If it is in line 2, I have to bring it to line 1. Same thing. You need to know. Do you have a command to put the cursor in line 1 and line 2? The answer is yes. I already taught these 2 commands here. One command to put the cursor in line 1, the other one to put the cursor in line 2. Is that okay? Again, you need to know where is the cursor. The cursor is the cursor in line 1, so I'm going to bring it to 2. It is at 2, so I'm going to bring it to 1. Right? How can I know if the cursor in line 1 or line 2? Same idea. Same idea. You have to use a variable. You have to use a variable this way. Another variable. So you have to use another variable to tell you if the cursor is in line 1, you have to move it to 2. If it's 2, you have to move it to 1. You understand what I'm saying? The last thing here I want to teach is also we have one comment for backspace. Backspace. I need someone. This is the last thing I want to teach, guys. So, for example, I have the word hello, and the cursor is here. When I press this button, it should be HELL, and the cursor is here. If you press it again, I should see HEL, the cursor is here. Backspace. The problem is there is no instruction to do backspace. There is no command to do backspace, but still you can do it. But using more than one instruction. It's not using 1, 2. Yes.
So
yes. That's true. However, still one thing is missing. I will let you figure it out. Okay. So I'm going to do what you said right now. So what you said is, number 1, we have an instruction to move cursor to the left. That's true. So now I will have HELLO and the cursor is here. That's true. Number 2, I'm gonna write a space. A space is ask you if space is 20. So it's a data. Number 20. If you do that, it's gonna be HELL space and the cursor is here. What else you have to do? Number 3. Yes, move the cursor back to the here. Okay. So in order to make backspace, you have to use 3 instructions. Move the cursor to the left, right space, move it to the left again. And because you are doing it very fast in the coming lab, you will not see the cursor moving. You're not gonna see and then you delete and then you move. No, you're not gonna see that. You are gonna see it like very smooth. It's very smooth. You are deleting it very smooth because we are doing everything very fast. Is that okay, guys? Any questions? Yes. You mean when this is in PC?
Yes.
No, PC may be a different story, but here because here is a different story because here I'm limited. Maybe they're using different way in PC because here I have limited instructions. So if I want to do anything, I have to use this instruction, right? Maybe you can buy an LCD and it's already have a command for backspace, maybe, right? So I just use the instruction we have for this LCD. Okay. Thanks, guys. See you next time.